the most famous fake white Florida blood from Boston. What? 1090 Steaks News. And this time he's facing backlash for trying to quote unquote expose legendary Chicago gang leader Larry Hoover for being a rat. And this is really confusing because he just told creepy weirdo Vlad TV that he's not exposing snitches anymore and that he's done with that.
Snitched or how does work? That's why I don't even, the snitching videos is over with. Like I said, if
so that was obviously a lie, which is not surprising because Jake is a well-documented liar and storyteller and fraud. But I did want to talk about this new video that he made because it's so stupid. It's just a huge nothing burger. And it's obvious that he only put this video out because Larry Hoover has been in the news lately for getting pardoned by Donald J. Trump. And so this is a huge clout chase. And the documentation Jake uses is newspaper articles. It's not paperwork.
I never knew you could get paperwork that goes this far back, but this is a documented shooting that took place. And you know, I have the news clippings in this video. Y'all can see it. Y'all can look it up for yourselves.
So this 57-year-old newspaper clipping is the basis for Jake's expose. What? This is just a newspaper article, and it's quoting the police. It's not even, there's no narrative that's signed. It's not an affidavit. It's not a witness statement. This is a newspaper article. And the newspaper article basically says that Larry Hoover got shot by his rival gang members and he got hit in the legs and ended up telling on those people to the police from his hospital bed. Now, I do want everyone to understand that this is a newspaper article from the 1960s in Chicago, and it's the police that are being quoted. This is all just the police telling the newspaper what they say Larry Hoover said. There's no... it's just a bunch of nonsense. You know, the police in Chicago in the 60s was one of the biggest criminal organizations in America. What? You know, the corruption in the 60s with that department is insane. They're not credible at all, and I don't understand why we're even talking about this. And this shooting happened in the middle of the fucking day in the principal's office. What? There were witnesses everywhere. There were multiple bystanders that got hit. There were people telling people stuff all over the place. They picked the guys up minutes after they shot. These guys did not get arrested because of Larry Hoover. The cops are trying to put this on Larry Hoover to try to make him out as a snitch, I think. This is what happened because it just doesn't make sense that they've got these guys in custody minutes after, and then they go to the newspaper and try and attribute these arrests to like what Larry Hoover told them. Did Larry Hoover take the stand, by the way? Do we have anything that actually, I mean, is there any proof that Larry even said any of this, or are we just going off the cops' words? Because I think it needs to go a little bit further than that if we're going to be labeling someone like Larry Hoover a snitch. Okay, that's crazy. So 1090 Jake puts this video out and people are not happy about it. He's all over the blogs. People are reminding him that he is one of the most famous snitches in the world. What? And it's just not really going very well for him. His video flopped. It only got 150,000 in the first day. So the video is not performing well. It's not lucrative at all. And it's just so funny because he's put himself in a lot of danger for a lot, you know, not a lot of money. And as we all know, Jake has publicly stated that he only exposes snitches in the interest of gaining money so that he can support his new relationship. What? And that's true. And so I want to play you this clip of 1090 Jake explaining that I don't care about any of this shit. I only really expose snitches because I need money.
I think people get it confused and they think that I genuinely give a fuck. I don't care.
You're just
YouTube
making content.
pays me, bro.
Yeah, this is your gig.
If I wasn't making money off of this shit, I wouldn't give a fuck.
For sure.
So he does this all for money. It's only in the interest of money. And I want to play you some more of this. This is really interesting. This is where it gets really sort of weird. When Jake starts lying and then he starts contradicting himself mid-sentence almost. I mean, it's really bizarre. And I want to show you this. So this next clip is going to show Bootleg Kev sort of check 1090 Jake on the fact that he's like sort of destroying people's lives by labeling them a snitch. And he asks Jake how he feels about that. And Jake pretty much denies that these people's careers are affected by his videos. He's like, nobody cares about when I do a video on somebody. Nobody gives a fuck about what I say. I'm just doing what I do so I can get some money.
Drop shit on people that have still maintained their career.
Like Boston Richie was one of your famous ones, right?
Yeah.
That affected his career negatively.
Like 6 days after that shit dropped, when I dropped that shit, he got signed for like $6 million.
True.
So who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, people are still gonna have their opinion on that. Like, oh, he gave fake names, whatever. And I can show you what name was real real and what name, you know. But it's like, who gives a fuck?
So Jake says nobody gives a fuck. So that okay. So what he's saying is that when he makes a video about someone labeling them a snitch and getting millions and millions of views and ruining their image, that no one cares about it and that it doesn't really affect the person's career. Now I want you to pay attention to that. Jake says nobody cares. No one gives a fuck about this. So he's saying that when someone gets labeled a snitch, no one at the end of the day really cares, and that it's not, people are still going to listen to their music and everything else, right? Okay, so minutes later, Bootleg Kev asks Jacob if there was ever a time when he had paperwork on someone labeling them a snitch that he decided not to make a video about. And Jake says, yes, there is someone that I decided not to, even though they are a snitch. And listen to the reason why he didn't make the video.
Have you decided to not expose somebody for whatever reason, even though you have shit where you're like, maybe...
Yeah, I got a interrogation video on a big rapper.
Why haven't you dropped it?
Because I know what it's going to turn into. The thing is, I already know that who it is going to get a pass, so why do it?
Yeah, why stir up some shit?
Why stir up some shit that in a fucking, 2 weeks nobody's going to give a fuck about? And it's just going to cause me more of a pain in the ass than anything. So I don't need the money that bad.
Oh, man, you see this man trying to come home, just got the time. Shout out Trump. Trump did what he did. And then a lot of y'all talking, okay, that man was at ADX, man. That man was basically in 23-1, man, stuck in a cell. Now him being back in Dixon, he could walk around, be freely again. He could be who he is. He could live. That's even if you got all that time, now he could breathe again. You try to sit in a cell for 20, 30 something years, stuck in a box by yourself, shower, everything in one room, and see how you will feel. They don't even do that to dogs. A dog get to go out and run out the cage. On my soul. But you so disrespectful. You so disrespectful, I swear to God, man. God gonna have something to you. To you, I swear, it's gonna be something so bad. Like, this man changed his life. He made growth and development. Everything that he did was change. Growth and development. Y'all know what that is? Like, y'all don't understand. I do all this. That's trolling to go viral to keep my name going. But if y'all thought that I was a goofy or some type of clown in real life, y'all got another thing coming. But for you to sit here and play with Larry like he ain't who he is, and like have people ain't gonna listen, and this ain't even because the people gonna try to make it, oh, don't say that, da-da-da-da. There's people out here that will put their life on the line for other people, man. For disrespect, like people really lost their life, lost family members due to certain things in this world. Think outside of the box and between the lines and understand what I'm talking about. If you don't, then hey, ding, 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 you're just a fucking goofy. But 1090 J, all you do is play with the black community. You play with nothing. All you do is try to tear us down when you is the biggest rat. You told on your case initially. Then you told on the situations that happened in prison. I don't even care if it's writing a grievance. Oh, that's not snitching. So if you write, hey, Warden, it was John Doe hit me in my head with a lock and a sock. That's not telling. That's not telling. That's sneaky. You being sneaky. You trying to get some help behind the door. You telling. Now they gonna come to the cell. Now they gonna come to the cell and snatch these people. But on my soul, gang, you playing then Remo. You the one that put it out. And I fuck with you, Remo, but you a goofy for that, gang. You was a goofy for that. I don't care what went on, and you fuck with folks. I don't care. You trying to assassinate Larry Hoover character? Is y'all really serious right now? You playing with Larry Hoover character. The man came out and said Larry Hoover did not tell on him. He did not. He said there was all type of stuff going on. Larry didn't make a statement. So who around? So now what y'all doing? Making fake paperwork? Y'all making fake paperwork again. 1090 Jake, I told y'all he'd do anything for the clout. He'd do anything for the clout. But you might as well just go get a big ass bow and arrow and put the target on the back of your head, your neck, your back, everything. Because that's all you just did to yourself.